Hey friends, it's our anniversary today. It's been 22 awesome years and we are ready to go and have massages done, have some lunch, do some shopping, and then of course for dinner we're gonna go to our favorite place for dinner, the tea shop in Richmond, Four Sisters.
Where are we going tomorrow?
Tomorrow, shocker there, we are going to Disney. Yeah! So we're doing this vlog style today so that we could still have some fun with you guys and you know,
got a lot to do.
Yeah, still be able to get done what we wanted to do. So here's the story of how all this went down. We started dating in October. Our first date was actually at a haunted forest. I wore my best friend's boots because I wanted to look really super cool, and she had these awesome boots. I love boots and sandals. So I asked her if I could borrow her boots, and they were a couple sizes too big for me. So here comes the chainsaw guy, right? Grant goes one way, I go the other way, and little does Grant know that he's dragging me through the mud because as soon as he turned and pulled to go the other direction, I tripped over my shoes and fell down. So once he realized that, he came back to try to help me up, but of course the chainsaw guy was there standing over me with the chainsaw. I'm like, I can't get up. So he finally let us alone enough for me to get up, and we were able to finish going through the haunted forest, but that was hilarious. I learned not to wear shoes that don't fit, even if they look cool.
It's pretty much love at first sight.
Pretty much love at first sight.
Yeah. That's how you get a girl, guys. Drag her through the dirt in a haunted forest.
It worked for me. It worked for me. We dated pretty seriously for like a month, and then you know, the relationship had gotten to that point where it's like, okay, where do we go from here, kind of a thing. And I asked Grant, okay, where do you want this relationship to go? What do you want to do? And he said, well, let's get married. And I was like, wow, because I knew on the first date that he was it. He was the man of my dreams, he was everything. So, but, you know, try not to rush in, I didn't want to scare him away. So when he said that, I was blown away, like, what? Whoa, you know, like,
You were terrified. Don't play cool. You were terrified.
I was. You know, you spend your whole life dreaming of that Prince Charming or your soulmate, and then when you finally meet him, sometimes it's terrifying. You're like, what? Whoa, this is real? We wanted to make sure we gave ourselves some time to just kind of cool down, think about it, make sure it's absolutely what we wanted, and Thanksgiving Day was the day that we were gonna just give each other our answers. So Thanksgiving Day comes, and I was so nervous. I'm like, of course, because I feel like he's the one and I'm ready to jump in with both feet. He's not gonna feel the same way. I was so nervous. So he came over, my mom's making dinner, we go outside on the front porch, and he had his hands behind his back, and he's like, okay, tell me what you think. And I was like, no, you go first. And he's like, no, ladies first. I'm like, damn it. But I said, okay, fine. I think, yes, we should get married. I love you. Yes. So Grant pulls out a red rose from behind his back, and he said, red is for love. And I'm thinking in my head, oh no. My heart sunk, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna let me down nice. You know? Then he pulls out a white rose from behind his back, and he says, white is for marriage. Let's get married. It was beautiful. We were super, super happy. Every anniversary, Grant does try to get me a red rose and a white rose. And that's always super special to me. So fast forward to January, I go out to meet his family for the first time. And we decided to go to New York City before we leave. I'd always wanted to go there, hadn't been there. So we took a trip to New York City. At this point in time, he has not officially proposed yet, but we're planning to get married in February. So we've got like a month and a half before we get married. And So we go to New York City. We spend the day all over having so much fun. And then he wanted to take us roller skating at Rockefeller Center.
No.
Yes, you did.
I didn't want to roller skate there.
You didn't want to roller skate?
I wanted to ice skate there.
Oh. Okay.
That would have been weird.
That would have been really weird. So.
Classic Reanna.
Classic Reanna. All right, so he wanted to ice skate at Rockefeller Center. Okay. And we had spent so much money that day. Like, everything costs money in New York City except for walking. When I learned how much it cost to, first of all, ice skate there, and then we had to rent ice skates on top of that, I was like, well, we don't have to do that. And we only had time to do one more thing. So we could either visit the Empire State Building or we could ice skate at Rockefeller Center. So he asked me, okay, well, what do you think is the most romantic place here? Of those two, what do you think is the most romantic place? And I said, definitely Empire State Building. I mean, come on, you've seen all the movies, right? It's like romance capital. So we went to the Empire State Building, and he was a little bit bummed because he had it all planned at Rockefeller Center. But so we get to the Empire State Building, and his dad and brother who were with us decided to stay at the bottom. So we're like, okay, well, cool. We get some alone time for a minute, and rode the elevator up to the top. So went outside, looked around, came back into the gift shop, and he went in to use the restroom. He came out from the bathroom and he said, let's go out one more time before we head down. So I said, okay. And I went to put my gloves back on my hands, and he's like, no, don't put your gloves on. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I haven't held your hands all day. I just want to hold your hands for a minute. So I'm like, okay. I didn't think anything of it. We go outside, we find the perfect spot, and we're looking, and he looks at me and he's like, I lied. And I'm like, you lied? And he's like, yeah, I actually have the ring. See, this whole time I thought the ring was being fixed and getting ready for me and sized and all that. But he had it the whole time. We had been in Rhode Island for like 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and he had it the whole time. And I was like, what? But he pulled out the ring, and then he proposed to me in front of everyone that was there. It's funny because everyone kind of disappeared, and it was just the two of us. And we hugged and kissed, and then we realized that there was like a huge applaud for us around. So that it was just special. It was really neat.
There were huge applause. It wasn't a huge applaud.
What did I say?
It was a huge applaud, is what you said.
What the heck? It was very special. We had a good time. And when we came down the elevator and came out onto the main lobby, his dad and his brother had the biggest smiles on their faces, like, what'd you say? What'd you say? And yeah, we got married a month later, February 19th. The day was absolutely beautiful, sunny, warm, comfortable, in Utah, which is crazy that it was warm and sunny on a day in February. That night we stayed in a hotel and flew out the next morning.
Whoa, don't tell him what happened that night.
I won't tell him what happened that night. The next day, we had to fly to Rhode Island with his entire family on the same plane to start our honeymoon. That was a little awkward.
A lot of raised eyebrows.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
What'd you do last night? It's been 22 amazing, awesome years. I couldn't have asked for a more incredible man. Like,
nor I, a more incredible woman. I mean, look at her. Come on. She's the best.
Yeah.
Of the best. Of
So
the best.
we just have fun. We have a blast. He's my best friend.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, sweetheart. I love you. We're off. I hope you guys have a good time, and I will see you next time. Bye.